You might have heard a lot of people saying that this is the easiest way to make videos on YouTube these days and blow up your new channel. Well, let me say, I have more than 25 years of experience being on camera professionally, and coming to YouTube is like, it is a whole new ball game. But this is not a new method at all. It goes way back, and let me say, easy isn't the right word to describe it. Let's say simple. Anyone can do it. 100% you can do it. But how well can you do it? Well, that takes confidence. My name is Kay, and I help people build their confidence. Why? Because confidence is so important to succeeding in whatever you choose to do. It's also one of the biggest protectors from manipulation. I have a whole nother video on that. We'll talk about that later. Right now, let's talk about this method that is getting really popular on YouTube. Why? It should be getting popular. Okay, so I've 30 years ago, about 30 years ago now, yeah, I went to and studied at a school in Sydney, Australia for TV presenting. I learned all the techniques, how to talk to a camera, how to read a teleprompter, how to interview people, how to be interviewed, how to do kid shows. Yeah, I did all of that stuff, right? I learned how to do voiceovers, all those professional techniques. I've put those skills to use in all different types of formats, from documentaries to video games to film, television, animations, whatever. Lots of different formats that I've done over my career. So, YouTube is now saying, YouTube is the big platform now, right? That's where people go primarily to watch a lot of video content. But why is this particular method, where people push a button, start record, and start talking, why is this method so popular? Well, one, because it is simple. You don't need fancy things, right? I'm sitting in the car because it's a great example of how simple this is. In a car, you have good sound. Generally, you're blocking off noise. I wanted to sit outside, but my neighbor started mowing the lawn. So here I am inside in my car instead of sitting outside. It's hot, but so what? It's only a bit of, I'll be able to breathe again in 5 minutes. So it's easy. I don't have studio lighting in here. I've got my car and a bit of natural light. Simple, didn't cost much. I've got an okay camera. I've got an okay mic. Great. It is simple. You could say that's easy if you already have those things. Now, pushing record for many people is the hardest thing ever to do. Please comment below if I'm right or wrong. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'd just like to know what your experience is. Sometimes it is the hardest thing to push that record button, maybe not as hard as pushing the publish button. A lot of it is mental. Most of it is mindset. It's not about so much the tools and the techniques. Once you have those things down, if you have the mindset, you can really do this technique. Now, why this is so important for confidence, in relation to confidence, which is what I'm talking about on my channel, why this technique is working now. It's because this technique, well, think about, it goes back to ancient times. Greek orators, they would get up and speak, they would talk, they're all about rhetoric and all of the things that they talked about back then, famous speeches that are now famous centuries later. That was a way that they communicated. In acting, there's monologues. Anyone who studied acting or theatre, you are trained in doing a monologue where it's just you, one person, talking to an audience, whether it's a camera or a group of people or a single person, a director, whatever it is. It's your delivery, one person. So essentially this YouTube technique is a monologue, or it's a public presenting technique, giving a speech. But you can't give it in a speech where you're trying to, sell or convince people of something, because that doesn't come across as so authentic. People can see through that really quickly. But the style, it's worked for centuries. What about sitting around a campfire? Cavemen or our ancestors, different cultures, would sit around a campfire and tell stories. This technique goes way back. Now, they didn't have a lot of the stresses of modern day society of trying to keep up with appearances and feeling like not good enough because of social media making everyone else look good, and you're feeling like insecure and lacking confidence because you're not as whatever as that other person that you just saw posting. You think you're not good enough. That was not as prevalent back in those times. So people were really getting their messages across in just a very passionate way. Now, why this is working so well now is not so much that it's a new technique, but because society needs it more than ever. There is a loneliness epidemic around the world. In the US, it's like 30% of people express feeling lonely, like seriously lonely, to the point of even depression. And really, it's affecting people's health and well-being. So when you have someone talking to you, like really talking to you, then there's a connection there. You don't feel so lonely because there's someone really talking to you. Like, I am just talking to you right now. I'm not talking to anyone else. There is no one else that I'm talking to. And I hope you feel that connection. I feel connected with you. I want to hear from you. Please put in the comments how you're doing. Because this is the connections that people are looking for now. There is a loneliness epidemic. There is also AI-generated content everywhere. And people are, well, I'm getting sick of it. Not everyone can tell it immediately, but I mean, really, you can tell it a lot, can't you? I think most people are starting to get the sense of like, yeah, I've read this before. I think it was written by ChatGPT. Or, what is this visual? Yeah, it's an AI image. What is this video? It's an AI'd face. Some faces are so perfect now, so beautiful now that you're thinking, it's just not real, or you can't even tell what is real. I think it's AI still some way off from faking our vulnerabilities. When you see someone talking to you and they get like, forget what they're going to say, or they might just like space out for a second like that and just, be human, be imperfect. That's when we see each other. And when you see other people being comfortable on camera, it makes you feel more comfortable yourself, especially if you know that person is not perfect. If you know that person is like sitting in a hot car and sweating, and you think, yeah, I'd be hot too, but hey, she's talking to me anyway, and because we're friends and I watch her channel and I comment and we go back and forth, then there's a connection. You know that if it's me that you're watching, I'm human. I am very far from perfect, but I can tell you the stuff that I do know. Now, that is what people are craving in this technique. To do this technique well, it is simple. Anyone can do it. But it's not easy. First, you do have to work on yourself. You have to... Easiest way is just to practice. The best way is to record yourself. Don't show anyone. Watch it back. Cringe, yes. Laugh, yes. Delete it, whatever. Do it. You have to get comfortable. If you cannot get comfortable with yourself, don't expect anyone else to get comfortable with you. It doesn't mean you have to be so confident that you're like cocky. It's not. It's like talking to a friend. If you can talk to a friend and be comfortable in the silences, when you can just sit there and be like, when you like can't think of something to say. But it's okay. Like, it's okay. You need to be able to do that with yourself. Now, that is the secret to this technique. I'm not hearing that on other channels. People are just saying, be authentic, be yourself, be a big personality, or, I don't know, be genuine. Like, what's genuine? Everyone's a real person. Everyone is genuine. Everyone is an authentic, real person. To really show yourself, they say be vulnerable. What does that mean? Talking about your dirty laundry. No, it doesn't mean that. It means you have to be comfortable showing yourself. And then other people will feel comfortable because you're giving them permission to be comfortable in themselves. So when they see that you're not perfect, then they say, oh, okay, I'm not perfect either. Great, I can relate to this person. And you're not going to relate to everyone because everyone's got their own preferences, and that's just cool. So you look for the people that you can relate to, but you're looking for comfort levels. Tell me in the comments what you think about this. The people that you see who are doing this technique of just pushing record and blah, 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 talking away, usually they have a point that they're focused on, right? My focus today is talking about this one technique and why it is simple but not easy. And hopefully I'm giving you the tools of how to develop this technique yourself. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are doing a YouTube channel or not. This technique works wonders in any type of setting. It's a trick that I use in all of my public work that I've done, and it always works. It's pretty much foolproof. When you are comfortable with yourself at that moment, it doesn't mean you're always comfortable with yourself. I have a lot of insecurities and things where I feel like I'm not good enough at this and that or the other. Having a lot of experience doesn't mean that you don't have any insecurities. We're human, okay? But when you can feel comfortable at the moment of pressing record, then you can really think about you, the audience, you, the listener, the person who's going to comment and give me your honest feedback. Then that means you're just comfortable in that moment. You don't have to be permanently comfortable with yourself because we're all trying to improve. I'm trying to improve myself. So I'm never permanently comfortable with myself. But when I push record, I'm only talking to you. I've got a couple of notes that I'm, checking off, but I'm not scripted. I'm just focusing on you and just thinking like I'm talking to you because you're my friend. And that's how this technique has always worked for centuries. Why is it working so brilliantly now on YouTube? Because people need it more than ever. Connection, anything that's anti the loneliness epidemic, anything that's anti AI and deep fakes, anything that's real. But it's because people have the confidence to be comfortable in their own skin when they push record. So to get more tips on getting comfortable in your own skin before you push that record button, check out this video and let me know in the comments what you think about this technique, and I'll see you soon.